As the universe is ever expanding, the infinite largeness is matched by an infinite smallness. From quarks to atoms to grains of sand, humans to trees to mountains, Earth, the Sun, the Milky Way galaxy, the Virgo cluster, inside of the super creatively named Virgo supercluster, then reaching the limits of the observable universe, housing a multitude of superclusters. And those are just the limits of what we're able to see here on Earth, a tiny atom-sized planet in the grand scheme of all things. As the physical world is inherently infinite, so too is time, the elusively uncontrollable fourth dimension. Some people call it a dimension, I don't. It's a goddamn measurement that just keeps happening, but that's just my opinion, so suck it. Time and space have the possibility of always was and always will be. Nobody is sure of what happened before the Big Bang, when it exploded rocks out in every direction like your neighbor pinging a new car with a snowblower on his gravel fucking driveway. But what if the Big Bang was caused by a few billion-year technologically advanced being that just finished building their new gaming PC and tapped the power button for the first time? Get ready for some sort of science and ramblings from a 30-something gamer, because it's going to be a where we're going fucking magnet. Goose Road
Exclusive new mix.
We don't need how do they work. Bumpy ride. Even in our existence, there have been a surplus of so-called God games. I personally fondly remember smacking around cows and monkeys in black and white. The genre was definitely propelled by SimCity and other games like Roller Coaster Tycoon, Sim Theme Park, blah blah blah, and even in Spore, where you literally start out as a single-cell microorganism and evolve your way up to space exploration. But nothing took the world into its cuddly little love hug arms quite like The Sims. You know, that game you played normally for about 5 hours before turning your literal own worst nightmares onto your Sims, by taking away all the doors in their wood house and replacing them with 45 fireplaces and no running water, just to watch the chaos unravel. Sounds a bit familiar. I'm not trying to make light of any of these tragedies. Maybe a little. Okay, I am. But if you were bored with your game and had the control to make any of this shit happen, you can't tell me that you wouldn't toss a tornado at the guy living in what they call
Tornado Alley.
Because this is where I drove my home to, and it's staying. Just to laugh when he hauls a new home in, while your mouse is still hovering over the natural disasters menu, waiting for him to finish building his new gun rack.
Round 1.
So let's dig a little deeper into this. Computer science as we know it basically boils down to ones and zeros. On or off. Yes or no. When anything happens inside of any piece of your computer, the entire input, receive, distribution, processing, redistribution, request, send, output, post-process, to display, whether visually or auditory, is nothing but a big fucking gaggle of ones and zeros, ons or offs, yeses or nos. It's mind-blowingly amazing that we've made it this far as a society, but some of us still can't manage to figure out how doors work. Electrons flow through the motherboard from chip to resistor, being told where to go by the CPU. Oddly, or maybe not, biological cells seem to work in almost an exact manner. 1665, Robert Hooke discovers the cell. Cells contain proteins. Proteins are clumps of atoms. Further in are neutrons, protons, and electrons. Even further inside of neutrons and protons are quarks, and gluons holding those quarks together. These quarks can be considered either up or down in normal matter, and appear in sets of 3. Up, up, down creates a proton, up, down, down creates a neutron, up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start creates a monster.
I never beat this game legitimately!
Specific sets of ups and downs create every molecule that our young species sees occurring naturally. Up, down, on, off, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. There's also the fact that subatomic particles literally only work by being electrically charged, negative, positive, and neutral. Everything we know to exist being powered by little blips of electricity.
Round 2.
If you look at the human body as an example of a well-running suite of software and hardware, Our brains would be the CPU, and its color tells me that AMD won the battle against Intel in the Mega Universal Processor Wars, constantly receiving data, filtering the information out to chips and resistors like your stomach and heart, telling them to keep digesting and keep pumping that oxygenated blood around its Corsair AIO water loop. All with electrical pulses. Tiny little sparks of electrons flowing through your body dictate every minute movement, including the ones you're not aware of. Just by exciting some neurons with electricity, you think, I'm gonna punch that kid. Sorry, don't know where that came from. Anyway, so you think, pet that puppy. Your whole brain system gets a signal from its RAM sticks. The temporal lobe to see if you remember that puppy hurting you before, the frontal lobe to check if you even care that that puppy hurt you, and the parietal lobe letting it know if the guy walking the puppy is now staring at you. Recollects it all, shoots it into its cache, the motor strip, and redistributes the electricity to your arm muscle, making you forcefully punch yourself in the junk. All I'm getting at is that your body works like a PC, so let's move on.
Round 3.
As stated in the intro, time, for what we can tell, has always been and always will happen. What we see in our telescopes is history. If something is 200 million light years away, that means it took that light 200 million Earth years to reach whatever optic we're using to view it. Technically speaking, if there is a hard beginning to life, the universe, and everything, we should be able to eventually see it, whenever that image gets to us. So, what's beyond what we can't see? Nobody really knows other than time. We could be part of the 19,003 Big Bang, with time being an infinite possibility. There are an infinite amount of probabilities that we are being played like a frog just trying to cross the highway. Think about it this way. If time was set, say everything started last week, 7 days ago, the probability of a life form creating technology advanced enough to run a simulation of life itself would be super low. I'm talking Shakira's hips telling a lie kind of low. It just doesn't happen. But if we raise that to if it all started 13.8 billion years ago when our Big Bang is estimated to have happened, that probability rises with time. And on an infinite scale, it rises infinitely along with time. Just as everything that exists, the probability is infinite. So everything happens somewhere, sometime, and we're gonna make it all right, but not right now.
Finish him!
Now, I'm not a religious person myself, but plenty of my friends and family are, and I see the correlation between a super advanced gamer boy pressing start on his Xbox One X Series S Taco Box Party Pack Extreme Slim Edition, and the creationism view of God, and or gods with a huge S. Maybe we're both right, or wrong, or I'm a 1 and you're a 0, or you're a 1 and I'm a 0. There's also the chance that the game was self-coded, or not coded at all. I mean, I made it this far without referencing the Matrix once, so anything is possible. But there it is. And you know, with infinite possibilities, our existence gets the one version of the script where humans are being used as batteries, and that's dumb. We could have had the original script where humans were being used for their processing power, and I could have drawn a parallel between this thought piece and one of the movies I've cherished since its released. But no, how could we be used as an all-encompassing superbrain processing data to power a hive of self-aware robotic flying squids if the studio executives didn't think we were smart enough to know how computers work because they were too obtuse to understand basic-ass computer sciences? Goddamn batteries. You can put my tip on your tongue and check for a charge, but I don't fucking work that way. I love the movie, but using humans as batteries is stupid. It's dumb. It's dumb. Anyway, the big question. Are we all living in some sort of video game that spans the cosmos as we see it from our comparatively minuscule perception? Infinite time, infinite space, and infinite chances that, yes, we are, and no, we aren't. But wouldn't it be neat if our entire existence could be wiped out by someone accidentally swiping their foot across a switch on their power strip? Ah, shit!